Stitches trying to buy him some time, but it's not up. Deep fried Ragnaros pulling their bacon out of the fire right at the end. Putting themselves up a very big
Play of the game from way down.
True, Silence, Rainer getting absolutely
A team wipe.
The living bomb's going.
Oh my goodness, the ring! Bob Stasnico gonna find Rainer!
All right, guys, it is a Friday night, and the perks of being the only show left in town in NGS, we got a double raid. Jason just brought the party with him over here after a wild quad support hammer comp game. So I don't know if we could top that. And Arrow of the Storm bringing the people over. Welcome to B West. Who knows gaming versus Spooky Ghosts? How you doing, Jay?
Oh, it's been quite the night already. A lot of meme games over there in that first matchup. Had one heroic game that actually ended up in a forfeit, so signed up for the C East matchup, and now we're here to cast again. So fun night here in NGS, and looking forward to seeing at least a couple more games.
Yeah, as tends to happen at the end of the regular season, occasionally you have games that aren't terribly impactful in the standings, let's just say. Teams tend to have a little fun with it. Speaking of standings, here are ours for B West. Who Knows Gaming currently in 6th place, 3 points behind the team ahead of them. So they could actually climb in the standings, I believe, to 5th, depending on the tiebreaker. But more importantly, for Spooky Ghosts, they are sitting in 8th place. I don't know if they have the tiebreaker over roll 1, worth checking into. We'll do that here in a moment, as our fine teams have jumped into game number 1, which will be once again, which seems to be our routine, Jay, Brex's Holdout, game number 1.
Yeah, and a very interesting map with a lot of different opportunities in terms of how you can approach it with your comp. Do you want to go with the standard 1-4? How do you want to do that solo lane matchup? Do you want to try to mix it up with a 2-3 comp? You can go double support. There are all kinds of options here on Braxis, and it makes it kind of hard to predict and scout for it in a lot of ways. But ultimately, if you can find a strategy that works for you, a lot of times that can be one of your strongest tools here.
So I am checking the standings here. Who Knows Gaming's has lost their tiebreaker to Devil Keg, so they are locked into the number 6 spot as far as going up. But Roll One Esports is currently tied with them. Let's see that tiebreaker. Nope, they have that tiebreaker. So Who Knows Gaming is literally locked into the number 6 spot. Let's check our friends over on Spooky Ghosts and see if they can actually get in here. Check on their results versus Roll One. Come on, meow. Come on, meow. Wow. Well, in the meantime, Deathwing banned out. This is going to be an Ariel ban. On the flip side, oh, but it's not. It's a Medivh ban. There you go. So Ariel is up. Let's see if Spooky Ghosts rips Ariel straight away.
And meanwhile, the ETC and a very interesting first ban for Spooky Ghosts, taking out the Kel'Thuzad. Not exactly what I would expect, but just kind of foreshadows that they may have done some scouting against Who Knows Gaming, especially for Braxis here.
Well, after checking with the standings, we were talking of games that have marginal impact on the standings. This would be that game, unless my caster math is incorrect, which, I mean, let's be real, is very possible. This game can have exactly 0 impact on the final standings of these teams.
You know, sometimes it's just for pride, Goose. You know, to be honest with you, sometimes you just want that momentum going into the play, or maybe not. I don't know.
Or well, that is the case for Who Knows Gaming. Finished right before the playoffs, and if you're Spooky Ghost, just last game of the season, end with a W. Feel good about yourself.
There you go. All right. Well, Johanna and Garrosh picked up here as our tanks to start. Pretty standard, kind of what you would expect to see on Braxis with the control point tanks. Ariel making it all the way to pick number 4 and 5 here in that order, and Gul'dan paired with it as the hope generator.
Yeah, the Medivh ban has got to be targeted, I would guess. That's a very high ban on a hero that's not terribly common. However, Medivh, I can make the argument, and would sometimes, that a well-played Medivh may be the most playmaking, impactful hero in the game. It can be just aggravating to play against if the other team knows how to use it. So certainly worthy of a high ban. Malthael coming out in the mid ban.
Yeah, I don't expect to see the Cho'Gall necessarily, but you know, they've got the Greymane, so they don't really need the Malthael as a counter. Jaina banned on the other side, but there's Rexxar, a big topic of conversation here on Braxis. Rexxar being able to have good control up in that top lane over that top beacon, a pretty ideal solo laner, and boy, that's a creepy skin for Mephisto.
It is indeed. We have Rexxar, arguably king of the solo lane, certainly one of the better solo laners, and in particular strong here on Braxis because Misha Bear can hold the point while Rexxar soaks the lane.
And we actually saw a game last night where Rexxar was doing just that. Or no, actually, I take that back. It was who was it up in the top lane that was so dominant? I forget now.
It was
Rexxar was banned out, I think.
It was Chen versus Dahaka, and
Aha.
Chen was just rolling the Dahaka.
So Yrel going to come out in response here. And actually, it could be Yrel or Alarak in that solo lane. I would kind of expect Yrel, but out comes Lucio as the support here for Who Knows Gaming.
Thank you to Giggleshmack pointing out to me this game actually does matter for Spooky Ghost. They are currently in 8th place. However, Necrofin Murgles is close enough to take the spot from them, so they do need these points.
I think it's pronounced Necrofin Maw.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, Sarah didn't like that noise. I won't be doing that again.
Yeah, he's like, what's that about? I do not approve.
All right, so Braxis holdout.
So
A little bit of a snowballing map, but definitely a lot of action-packed moments. It's kind of hard to keep track a lot of time on everything that's going on this map because it's constantly the fight over top and bottom. It's basically just a slightly smaller version of Dragonshire.
yeah, and also worth noting, both of these teams went with actually like a double melee style. I know Mephisto's like only pseudo melee, but kind of double frontline style in the 4-man with only one real ranged assassin. Here we go. Game number 1, Division B West. The blue team, Who Knows Gaming, featuring Lupus64 on Rexar and Misha Wolf on Greymane, appropriately. Crazy Boots is how I'm going to say that on Lucio. Shinkagan on Mephisto, and Mezzos on Garrosh.
And on the left, on the right, we got Spooky Ghosts. We've got Little Wolf on the Ariel. We've got Eric with a K on the Urel. Regoth is going to be on the Johanna. Gul'dan being played by Kaleidos. And Boundary X playing the Alarak.
Alright, so let's see how it goes. I think down the bottom, wave clear advantage, most certainly in favor of Gul'dan Johanna. So let's see if Spooky Ghost can make something happen with that. I really like what Johanna did there, if you noticed. Garrosh was really making a play on that Gul'dan, and that Johanna just hung on to Garrosh's leg, so he had no opportunity to throw Gul'dan there. Health bar is low all around, everybody already tapping. Who Knows Gaming grabbing the globe. And let's check in on Urel, Misha Bear in the top. And Urel, as expected, having a little bit of a rough time.
Yeah, it's still early, but Eric with a K, I'm going to have to try to maybe find a way to get past Misha to the Rexar, but I really just don't know what the true answer is. It's always rough dealing with Rexar in that solo lane. If anyone can rotate up, Alarak can be a really good tool for displacement and ganking potential, but ultimately, that gives up the 4-man down here, so it's just so important to have control up in that top lane, and Rexar can give you that so well.
Well, and already both beacons here channeled for Who Knows Gaming. Gul'dan has arrived after having to fill up with the Hall of Storms, but these bars are going fast. Johanna thrown into Who Knows Gaming. Ironskin not used. I assume that thing's on cooldown. And I don't think Johanna has the health bar to do anything about this. We're in for a very quick 100-0, because it's only a matter of time, I think, before Rexar and Misha beat Urel off of this top objective.
Yeah, Misha hasn't really even been touched yet here. Eric with a K trying to get some sustain there, but yeah, there it is. Eventually, you got to go back up to the lane. You got to try and soak. You just can't do it all unless your character's name is Rexar.
Yeah, and well played Rexar. I don't know of any matchups that he flat loses. I know there are some heroes that'll go even with the Rexar, but there's very few matchups where a well played Rexar is at a disadvantage in the solo lane, forcing a big rotation to try to clear out the Zerg wave here from Spooky Ghost. Alarak and Urel pass each other in rotation as well. And here comes the defense. The Gul'dan Johanna will be able to clear this, about as fast as you can, but still going to get some work done.
Yeah, it was also nice timing for Spooky Ghost to grab that camp real quick. Gave him a little bit of extra clear, but the Guardians are still pretty safe back there, doing their work, throwing out the spit, and actually getting a lot of damage onto Johanna, so they're starting to push in just a little bit. Toss comes out onto Johanna, the boop to follow it up, but it's Lucio that goes down. Maybe getting a little bit greedy there, but they do manage to get Lucio and Garrosh in exchange for that Johanna.
Yeah, nice little momentum play there for Spooky Ghost, getting the 2-for-1. They're actually, despite the wave, very slightly up in XP, courtesy of the kill and the camp. The solo lane gonna swap again. Yes, Eric with a K running back up to the top lane, while the 4-man starts to rip this bruiser camp. Urel taking a really aggressive rotation by herself there. Could have been dicey.
Yeah, Urel's pretty slippery in general, but definitely don't need to be taking any risks at this point in the game.
Goku saying the Vikings beat Rexar in the solo lane. I mean, that makes sense. If Rexar's advantage is he's got 2 bodies, you figure, let's have 3, right?
Sure. I mean, Rexar's got a tank and a damage dealer. I mean, the Vikings basically have a tank and 2 damage dealers.
Sure.
If only they had a healer, then they could be the whole package. See, what I used to try to do, Goose, against Rexar is I used to try and take Sylve, and I would just Haunting Wave past Misha and just pour everything into Rexar. And that worked really well before his rework, but now it just doesn't
Yeah,
fly.
now Rexar himself does a little too much damage to be doing something like that with Sylvanas.
Right. Meanwhile, good damage coming in here. Nice focus fire to go along with this camp down here in the bot lane. Just getting a lot of work done. They're going to get the well, and actually they're charging in. They're going to find the flip. It looks like they might have been going for the flip on Johanna, but ends up on Alarak, and the reinforcements have arrived, and it looks like they're going to push Who Knows Gaming back, but they managed to get out.
Yeah, that was a really nice calculated aggression there from Who Knows Gaming. With Ariel and Gul'dan were forced to go top to clear the mercenary wave. They knew they had the numbers, just stepped in, took out the wall, took out the Sippy Cup, and that's going to give them the advantage here in the bottom with no well available to tap. Big damage from both sides. Health bar's low. Joe procs the Iron Skin, and that's enough to get a Lucio, and Wolf forced to tap. Otherwise, the dot from Gul'dan may have finished the job, I'll tell you. Rogoth is what I'm going to go with. On Johanna is doing a pretty nice job of really flirting with the bottom of that health bar and getting value out of that.
Yeah, it's usually something we see more from Garrosh players, really. But this is the nice thing when you have the Rexar up in top, dominant down here in the last couple of minutes for this 4-man. For Spooky Ghosts, but how much charge have they gotten out of it? 0, because Rexar is still holding the point in top, and this is going to be a back and forth down here in this 4-man. You see, there's the toss, almost enough to get Johanna, and actually the poison damage coming out big from Colitis. He's going to have to get out, but eventually you expect they're going to win this matchup down in bot.
Speaking of winning, Johanna first to fall in a big-time brawl. Alarak soon to follow. He's trying to take somebody with him, unable to do so. You know, if you're the side of Spooky Ghosts here, losing the top isn't a big deal if you're, or let me rephrase, going even top isn't a big deal if you're winning bottom. But now no longer the case. The Zerg wave charging again. Heroics are here for both sides. Who Knows Gaming going with Cursed Bullet, Sound Barrier, Unleash the Boars, Warlord's Challenge, and Consume Souls for Mephisto.
Meanwhile, for Spooky Ghosts, we've got Resurrect, Ardent Defender, Blessed Shield, Horrify, and the Counter-Strike.
So this is kind of a weird positioning here for Who Knows Gaming. They kind of thought they were going to go up to rotate, and then they didn't. And now they're kind of in this weird no man's land, but a big engagement again. Horrify is huge. Nobody procs the Counter-Strike, but Garrosh actually the first to fall. A lot of R's were used. Resurrect, however, still online, and that is a big R button.
Yeah, it's a couple times in this matchup that Garrosh has fallen. Kind of not quite enough tankiness, not quite enough availability for support for Lucio. He's a little too isolated out there. The sound barrier can't really come in safely in those scenarios. So we see the Garrosh fall, and it's going to be a little bit of an advantage for Spooky Ghosts which again is going to stall the point a little bit. But again, until they can get something going up here in top, they're not going to be able to really capitalize on any of these wins the way they'd like to.
I mean, if you're the side here of Spooky Ghost, I actually like... Ariel's dead. She has resurrected herself. She is in the middle of nowhere, but they don't punish her for it. And now she's right back in it. Who knows? Gaming in trouble. A lot of low health bars, but Wolf goes in, polishes off Gul'dan and Ariel. Alarak trying to get something for their troubles, but will not find it. That is 1, 2, 3 unanswered kills for Who Knows Gaming. And that will be another full Zerg wave. Or will it, as Jarrell reducing Rexar to 34 hit points. And saving the channel for now.
Yeah, Rexar not quite able to get back on that point fast enough to get the charge going, so it's going to remain at 52. But there's Eric with a K coming through in the clutch, right when they really needed it. And there you go. It apparently the scaling to about level 12 is what they really needed.
Yeah, I kind of like what both teams are doing here. Is they're not like overreacting with these rotations to the top lane. Both sides, when they win in the bottom, they just take something in the bottom lane. They're not really running up there and like hyper fixating on the objective. As Garrosh trying to go on the backside, but Little Wolf whips him away. Johanna doing a nice job positioning out forward. Ironskin is still up, I'm fairly sure, but Johanna is taking a lot of free damage. And now, Who Knows Gaming will get back on this point. Mephisto's just doing a lot of AoE damage. Alarak unable to connect. But does there. Great counter strike by the Alarak, but Gul'dan in trouble. Down he goes. Horrified does go out a hair late. There's the resurrect, though.
Yeah, it was a big knockback there from Lucio. He actually knocked Boundary out of his stun combo, so it prevented a little bit of extra damage and maybe a kill or two at the top of that, allowing him to get some heals out. So MVP play from Lucio. It's something as simple as that Q can just turn so much in these fights.
Oh, Gul'dan in trouble, eating so much Mephisto damage, sitting very low, forced to tap, and this Zerg wave is really laying siege to this bottom keep. Gul'dan's in trouble, down he goes. Ariel's probably next. And down she goes. And this could be the beginning of the end. Now Alarak in trouble. Garrosh unable to land the throw to secure the kill, but it's not going to matter for bottom keep.
Yeah, the death timer is not too long here, but it's still 15 seconds until we get Garrosh back. They still have a decent Zerg wave. I don't know if they can finish, but if they get another kill or two here, could be lights out for Spooky Ghosts.
Yeah, I don't think they can quite finish, although that core is melting fast with those. Look at that Zerg wave just burning it down.
Yeah.
Actually, I think that's going to be it. What do we know?
Yep. Yeah, not much. Those Guardians, man, they deal so
they just melted
much
that thing.
Damage.
Well, that
Guardians and Hydras, look out.
That escalated quickly.
It did. You know, and I gotta give a shout out to Goku. He's right in there. Gonna be honest, SG is far
from a
loss right now.
Right. Well, when he typed that in, it may have been true, but boy, it turned real quick.
And you know, it was the kills. You know, it was the snowball effect there. They had that Zerg wave rolling. They'd been chipping away at the bottom lane little by little, but it was, you know, in the scenario in which Spooky Ghosts stay alive through that push to be able to slowly melt the Zerg wave down, they're totally fine there. They might lose the keep, but they definitely don't lose the game. It was the kills and then being a little bit too far in trying to defend the keep so hard that actually cost them the game.
Yeah, poor Gul'dan was just a little too far forward in that keep defense. And that Mephisto did a lot of damage. And Goku is correct. This is the most snowbally map in the pool. It's why it's not 100%. One of my favorite maps, to be honest. But so if you're the side of Spooky Ghosts here, playoff lives potentially on the line. What's going on in chat? What's the adjustment?
Well, I mean, one thing I can tell you for sure is this is the moment where if you've got something in your bag of tricks, you pull it out. There's, you're not going to leave anything on the table at this point, and when your backs are against the wall like this. So I'll be interested to see what they come up with here. If they want to play it more standard, or if they've got something up their sleeves that they've been just waiting for.
All right, well, we're going to play our patron bumper real quick, and we'll be back in 30 seconds-ish. I don't even think it was 30 seconds.
Well, there you go.
I don't think it was.
We back.
So if I'm Spooky Ghost, I'm taking first pick. I want first pick. Goku's calling for a Mephisto ban. That could very well be warranted.
Yeah.
And just in the meta right now, if you're going to target ban the other team, you almost have to take first pick to do so.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, Ariel let through in the last one, but it didn't seem to be too effective. I think actually that might be the second time in the last couple of days you and I have seen Ariel in these matchups, Goose, and I think she might be 0 for 2.
She is. Both times, though, it was the lower seeded team using the Ariel. Both
Sure.
times it was on Braxis, so when they fall behind, it's hard to claw back. But let's see. Still waiting for our teams here. Still waiting. Well, tell you what. I want to get a glass of water. So I'm going to put the BRB screen, and then we'll be back for game 2. I think that's the way to do it.
Yeah, I think she'll have decided where she wants to sit by then.
There you go. And we'll have a TriCast.
There we go.
Back. All right, guys, we are in lobby for game number 2 on Volskaya Foundry. Surprisingly, at least in my opinion, Spooky Ghost went map pick, Jay. Taking the Dust to Volskaya Foundry, giving first pick over to Who Knows Gaming.
What that tells me is they might have a very specific plan
Yeah, a little
for,
pocket
for
strat.
this map. Yeah.
Sure. I did check. Who Knows Gaming is 3-0 with Mephisto this season. So they were calling for the Mephisto ban. So now 4-0 with that win. Let's see what we have going here. Volskaya Foundry, speaking of snowbally maps, is another map that can be snowbally. You get the lead, you invade for toys, you get more toys, and you get more of a lead. So this map can do some of those same type of things due to the nature of the turrets and the biotic emitter here on Volskaya Foundry.
Yeah, the difference, of course, being that this is a bit more of a slow snowball, whereas Volskaya Foundry Braxis can be a little bit more dramatic in how quickly it just goes straight from 0 to 60.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I don't know which way I'd rather go. Be slowly choked out or put me out of my misery.
Well, I mean, it gives you more opportunities to turn the tables, but yeah, but yeah, for sure, it can be similar.
So Medivh ban coming out from Who Knows Gaming again. So that is most certainly targeted. And we'll see. You know what? I'm going to pull that up real quick while we have a moment. As soon as I can find it. Spooky Ghost.
Spoopy Ghosts.
They have played Medivh twice this season and won both games. Deathwing ban coming out. And they have had Medivh banned out 11 times this season. So
task failed successfully.
Yeah. So there is a reason for that clearly, as Anna banned out for Who Knows Gaming. So Goku's been calling for the Mephisto ban.
We'll see if we get it.
We'll see if they get it here, if they give over the Ariel.
Yeah, I mean, on this map, Ariel could be particularly potent on the points. Even before the change, this was one of her decent maps, but it's going to be that Kel'Thuzad once again. So both teams going with the more targeted bans, not worrying too much about the meta. Deathwing, of course, thrown out, but there is the Ariel. They're not going to skip the opportunity to get that hero this time around.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of got the Kel'Thuzad ban on Braxis because that's one of the maps he shines on, and the 4-man, there's really no way to like avoid stacking him. But on Volskaya Foundry or some of these other large maps, if you play against a Kel'Thuzad correctly, you can really hamper how quickly he can stack. Well, that's one way to ban Mephisto.
You just steal Mephisto.
You just rip it away, and that's what
Yeah.
they do, getting a Johanna and a Mephisto for Spooky Ghost.
How the turntables, Goose.
So I bet you this map's going to go down to the wire because I assumed they had Mephisto on the radar. And it does. And you're going to go with a Leoric and a Hanzo.
This will be the first Hanzo I've seen in quite a while. This is a decent map for him, a lot of good angles, and just in general, good opportunities to stack a lot of his different abilities, the talents. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit more point focus from Who Knows Gaming, just based on what they're building so far. They can take advantage off of that team fight ability and can stay focused on it more than the macro oriented play you would expect.
Yeah, or you could just be going Entomb and the big, not Dragon Arrow. What's the other one? The big arrow.
Yeah, it's Dragon Strike.
Dragon Strike, yeah, Entomb Dragon Strike. I've seen teams run something like that. Greymane banned out, ETC banned out, Spooky Ghost choking out the tank pool.
By the way, Goose, I don't know if you know, but that combo is called Dungeons and Dragons.
I did not, but that makes perfect sense, totally. And now it's, of course, what we're hoping for, because we just want to call that out over and over again.
Sure. Anduin and Zarya coming out, so more shields on top of the Johanna shields.
Hello.
Hey, there we go.
Chogariel. An oldie but a goodie.
Yeah.
Made even better with the Resurgence of Resurrection.
Yep. Not only that, but Ariel's always, of course, been that healer. Gaul specifically, the best battery in the game, and it's great on this map as well. Again, that team fight oriented style where you don't have to do quite as much of the macro, you don't have to have quite as many bodies out there. And we're gonna see the double support coming in here, sort of triple if you count Zarya with the shields.
Yeah,
but I would say 2.5 shields here.
I don't know where the damage is going to come from Spooky Ghosts.
I mean, it's got to be from Mephisto, but I don't know if Mephisto's enough for a hyper carry like this. I guess we'll find out.
Well, which draft you like?
I think I like Who Knows Gaming's draft. I think they've got a clear combo in mind. Especially if you are going with the Dungeons and Dragons combo, you can also throw on top of that, the Gaul ability. I forget what his
Shadow
circle
Bolt or the other one.
Well, you could do that too. You could Shadow Bolt into the Entomb. Yeah, but it doesn't pierce, whereas the other one is a circular that'll hit everybody. But
I really like
either one could be good.
Yeah, I really like what Who Knows Gaming's how they ran that draft. They picked the Leo, they banned the Greymane. So, but none of those really showed Cho'Gall unless you were really looking for it. And as a result, no real percentage damage burn for Spooky Ghosts, and I think that could be an issue. But here we go. Game number 2. We have, who is that? Lupus64 and Mezos on Cho'Gall, giving us Loopzos on Cho'Gall. Shinkaigen on Hanzo, Wolf on Leoric, and Crazy Boots on Ariel.
On the red team, Spooky Ghosts. We got Little Wolf on Zarya, Eric with a K on Anduin, Boundary X on Mephisto, Kalidas on Uther, and Rogoth playing Johanna.
So Spooky Ghosts trying to show us that ranged damage dealers are overrated.
Overrated.
Ideally,
I mean, Mephisto is kind of a range.
I know.
I don't know. He's kind of a hybrid, I guess.
He is. He's. It's like
it's weird. It's trying to put him into a category is kind of difficult.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's like saying Rexar is a ranged warrior. You're like, I mean, yeah, I guess he is, but he doesn't he doesn't play as a traditional range damage. Leaving Uther in the top to just kind of soak out the lane while the 4-man is rotating. Both sides grabbing these turrets right on cue.
Yeah, well, ever since the ammo changes, you don't really need a traditional wave clear solo laner. You just need somebody who can stick their body up there,
Absolutely. Who can
get the XP.
Who cannot die and grab little purple globes.
Yep. Especially now that you don't even have to, I mean, you don't have to be there when they die. You just have to be, in the vicinity where you can go pick them up at some point shortly after they die. So, but look who's pushing the issue here. Spooky Ghosts ready to throw down. They're going to go ahead and get started on the support camp.
Well, they're going to get it. Leo is very clearly showing bottom. They're trying to leverage this for a little extra XP, but this biotic emitter will go over to the side of Spooky Ghosts. Chat pointing out that Mephisto does have percentage-based damage at 16 and 20. So that's kind of a long time to wait for that, though.
Yeah, I tend not to hedge my bets on something I need in the early game that I'm going to get, 16 and 20.
I mean, I guess
But,
it's better than nothing, but still.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, they just hold out that long, I suppose. I mean, so does Artanis, but I don't pick Artanis as a counter to Cho'Gall.
Sure. Trying to catch the Yorick, that's not really going to happen. And both teams working on their top camps. Uther taking a little bit of a beating, but just slowly walking the other direction.
Anduin had to come and heal him to help.
That's right. And not just Uther, but Canadian Lumberjack Uther.
Well, there you go. That's something.
Yep.
I'm not going to have the wave clear to clear up the camp, though, so here comes the cavalry.
Yeah. And in the meantime, Who Knows Gaming going to take the initial channel on to Point A, the first objective for the Rock'em Sock'em robot.
Yep. Cho'Gall just kind of out there scouting, chipping away at the wall. And now we will see the engage. Here come all 5 members of Spooky Ghost. Good damage to start on Ariel, but she's got the heals. And now it's Leoric who's looking low. Cho'Gall to follow. So good, solid damage coming out from Spooky Ghost. We were worried that they maybe wouldn't have the damage output, but they're kind of forcing Ariel into a tough spot healing-wise right now.
Yeah, Hanzo wasn't really there in that, but despite that, at the end of that, due to the 2.5 supports, like all of the health bars from Spooky Ghost there, it looked like they hadn't been touched.
Right.
But now is a true 5-on-5. 7's here for Who Knows Gaming, so slight advantage there. But 2 items for the side of Spooky Ghost. They're still holding on to them, but the turret for Who Knows Gaming goes down. Now the biotic emitter dropped, as well as the turret, and Spooky Ghost looking to turn this, and they will. The Yorick going down. Loopzos running away, and look at the health bars on red. It just doesn't seem like they took a lot of damage.
Yeah, Eric with a K with a nice root there from that Anduin root, chastising the Leo into submission. And now on the backside, Boundary X getting Hanzo very low. He had to back out. Now it's Cho'Gall that's in trouble. Big heal going to go down, but actually only finding Cho'Gall there. And Wolf kind of hung out to dry once again as overtime going to be won here. And Spooky Ghosts get the first protector.
Yeah. I mean, what do we know? Range damage? Not necessary. The more supports, the merrier. We found out last set you casted, 4 supports is the key to victory.
Yeah.
So Spooky Ghost is actually 1.5 supports short of that.
Well, such a crazy set too, man. By design, mind you, but still, you gotta love it when the unorthodox comes out. But now, we had said, I had said in the pregame, you're looking for any kind of crazy strategy to come out here from Spooky Ghosts. What do they got up their sleeve? Well, this is it. Mephisto, 2.5 healers, and not only that, but stealing one of the good carries that Who Knows Gaming likes to play. They had this card ready for this game number 2.
Yeah, I can't recall if I've ever had a casted game where Mephisto was so kind of
highly contested,
front and center,
yeah.
heavily contested key like that. They have caught Loopzos, I just like saying that, really putting the damage on him. I don't think they're going to get him with Ariel here, and they don't.
Loopzos is too strong, man. You just can't.
That's right.
You can't gank him. Not when Ariel's around, anyway. That's it's a recipe for disaster. I like how far up Uther was in the lane down in bot. I'm thinking, like, is he dominating the solo lane now? I'm
a little bit. It kind of looks like it.
Yeah.
he did go, the Holy Shock, so he can damage with his Q
build,
and self-kill, and that's one of the ways that Uther can bully. And I was actually watching Kaleidos on Uther that last battle. He was really aggressive with his positioning. He was like body blocking on the other side of Loopzos, throwing his E out there. So really watch that. And if you're going to lose a hero first, assuming Uther's burned all his cooldowns, that's kind of the one to lose.
Sure. So basically what you're saying is Uther is the main tank and Johanna is just like the bruiser, I guess.
The other tank?
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so
that makes sense.
Level 10s. We have Entomb, Resurrect. Is that? It is. I gotta forget what it's called, but well, we're gonna have to come back to that because it is breaking out. There is Entomb catching Mephisto, but the full catches him. Zarya catches 2 in her heroic, but R button's pressed, nobody goes down. Upheaval, there it is. Dragon Arrow and Twisting Nether for Who Knows Gaming.
Spooky Ghosts got Void Prism, Holy Word, Sanctification. Looks like they've got Divine Storm, Blessed Shield, and Mephisto's got Endurance of Hate.
We did have a
So
couple...
yeah, that Void with Endurance combo, and then into the Divine Storm and the Blessed Shield. I could see where they're going with this.
A lot of CC.
But no Light Bomb?
Not a lot of interrupts. Actually, Dragon Arrow or Upheaval or Whip. So I guess there are some, but a couple of them are really long cooldown interrupts. Real quickly, thank you to Pants and I think Arrow and Nola Koots and King for the follow, and to Giggle Schmack for the sub. Appreciated. Second objective, Baker, Bravo, point B, popping here momentarily. Spooky Ghosts, close-ish to level 13 talent advantage. They also have their Camp pushing in the bottom, but Uther outnumbered here in mid, but Kaleidos is like, nah, bro, I don't care.
Oh, with the upheaval into the whip.
We're going right back into it. He's like, nah. That will actually force Spooky Ghosts back with Uther getting picked off. They're going to wait the 22 seconds out, I would imagine, and just come back. Go catch some minion waves. They did get 30% channel on there.
Yeah, they have plenty of time. They get 13. There are really no camps to take, but they'll clean up the lanes a little bit. And it looks like they're going to lose their well up top, though. So that's another nice gain for the side of Who Knows Gaming.
All right,
Uther, you start the poke out game here.
Uther is back, and I think it's going to be on. It has been brought in as both teams run into the point.
Yep, time to throw down. We'll see Boundary X going in first. Stun comes down onto Leptos with Endurance of Hate, and everything falling down onto Ariel. Gonna instantly pop the self-res. Salvation, though, keeping the side of Spooky Ghost nice and healthy as they charge in via that pull from Cho'Gall, and he makes it out with almost no health. But the Uther, the only one that falls on the side of Spooky Ghost, in exchange for a second kill on Ariel and the kill on Leo.
So if I caught that right, that was Blessed Shield, into Endurance of Hate, into Hammer of Justice, into Divine Storm, into Graviton Surge for Ariel?
Yeah, for the first Ariel kill.
Right.
I guess that combo lasted long enough that they probably got the second one off of it too, but
oh, a little bit of miscommunication
no.
there. That's not going to matter, but nice job using the upheaval on the return teleport. And that might be enough to actually buy Who Knows Gaming the objective despite losing the initial team fight.
Right. Yeah, they didn't quite capitalize on that fast enough. The charge wasn't there. Here comes the nice Iron Skin to pretty much negate that Dragon Arrow. By the way, no Dungeons and Dragons, Goose. I'm disappointed.
Me too.
We'll have to wait till tomorrow for Dungeons and Dragons.
That is correct. So top fort going down. Who Knows Gaming is going to take care of that real quick. And there it goes. And they will proceed to mid lane, where that fort is pretty low. They could get 2 for the price of 1 here if they wanted. They could also run to the bottom and prep for the next objective if they want to. And a little bit of hesitation, but now they're like, nah, we're just going to go rip this fort real quick on their way down. Little drive-by.
Yeah, they might be able to do both here.
They might. I will say that a Rock'em Sock'em robot, though, is taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, but not as much as I think Spooky Ghost would like. They don't have a whole lot of anti-siege damage to take this thing down. But yeah, still not much damage to the bottom fort so far. So They're going to have to really focus fire if they want to get this well.
Yeah, and they're doing it the right way. They're positioning. Ooh, sorry, bad observer. They're positioning on the top to try to get it that well, but they're not going to quite have enough. Joe going really deep, trying to catch them as they come out. And they will sort of, but Joe is so low. They have caught the Ariel again, but Joe once again really low. There's the Durance Trapade. The Protect keeps Johanna up. The pull does get them, but Ariel goes down, instantly resurrects herself, and that should be the retreat signal for Spooky Ghosts. But no, they're going to instead get Leoric. Zarya going down, an absolute bloodbath. So far this is 2 kills for 1 in favor of Spooky Ghosts. Might be 3, there it is. Cho'Gall also in trouble. Loopzaw, say it ain't so, but it is. Hammer of Justice ringing down. Loopzaw sent back to the Hall of Storms.
It's crazy how you can draw the comparisons between my last set. This the first one was, you know, kind of a steamroll. The second one was this back and forth with, you know, with kind of meme comps, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. Back and forth, tug of war, level 16 on both sides after that last team fight, and the momentum just going back and forth like a seesaw right now, Goose.
Yeah, this support, really durable comp from Spooky Ghosts. Who Knows Gaming is just really having trouble bringing them down. They seem low and low and low, and then they never die, and they look up and they realize that they're actually the ones getting dropped. 10 kills to 4 in favor of Spooky Ghosts with this unorthodox comp they're running.
Yeah, I will say this much though: they're winning on the kill count, but they're definitely not winning in the in the structure game, which is actually how you win this game. You got to take down the structures.
That is true.
You can get all the kills in the world, but if you get the core, then the game's over. So
here's another brawl. This time everything's going into Loopzaw's. Dragon Arrow comes out. Leoric dodges the Graviton Surge, escapes less than 300 health. And the Biotic Emitter will go over to Spooky Ghost, and the fight continues. Who Knows Gaming forced to retreat, however.
Report Leo, no trait value.
No trade value. Feels bad, man.
Now, making it out with by the skin of his teeth for a second there, I thought Uther might suicide in to get him. He's like, I get, you know how you can tell when a player is like spamming their Q and their character's running, but they're just barely out of range. Like, I think that's what we were seeing there, and finally called his character off there.
So push in the top lane for the side of Spooky Ghost. They also have 3 items. Goku noting in chat, great discipline by Spooky Ghost to not use their items, or that they forgot that they had them.
Yeah.
Upheaval hits nobody. That's a big moment here. Spooky Ghost's on the point.
Big whiff.
And here it is, on point Lazy Susan with these funny conveyor belts.
Yeah, this one's always a little bit weird to engage on, but when you've got the turret advantage, it's pretty straightforward. They just gotta wait it out. They gotta force Who Knows Gaming to come in and actually contest him here, and then they just drop everything and go.
Now here goes Leo, Ghost walking in, kind of feinting an initiation there. There's the upheaval again. They were waiting for that cooldown. This time it catches 2, and Entomb blocks off 2 people. Dragon Arrow doesn't catch anybody, but it's too late for Johanna. She goes down fast. Little Wolf still hasn't used the turret yet. Actually, Spooky Ghost has only used one of their items, fighting a 5v4J and winning-ish.
Yeah.
I mean, they lost 2 people, but Who Knows Gaming is the one running away because they're so low.
Yeah, you know, I'm telling you, they got both the tanks, but yeah, the Protector is in, and yeah, very entertaining match so far. This has been fun to watch, but I don't know, you know, I think I'm starting to go more with column B on that comment from Goku, maybe forgetting they had him. Maybe. You know, like, you just got to drop them right when they come in, and, you know, this is not just the Protector. This is also, you know, you're getting the Cho'Gall down. You would have gotten Leo, and Ariel was in that mess.
The people in this Triglav are in trouble, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, the Protect comes out. That'll force
look at this already.
Look out.
Oh my
the
goodness.
Void Prism, the Durance, they're trying to pull this out 4v5. Or 3v5.
Oh, I mean, that's about as well as that could have gone, frankly.
Yeah.
Now, Who Knows Gaming looking for more. Yeah, that fight in the bottom, the 2 tanks went down for Spooky Ghost, but everybody on Who Knows Gaming was low, and the 3 remaining heroes for Spooky Ghost were at like full health. They just couldn't contest the point anymore, despite it being 5v3.
Yeah, I mean, they're the ones that are the threats to get the kills. You know, the tanks are not securing kills at low health so much as just zoning and CCing. So you can't just run your low health heroes back in because it's the 3v5. Like, they can still totally win that. So, but you gotta give a lot of credit to Who Knows Gaming. You know, they've played the macro very well in this game, and that's what's keeping them not only in the game but ahead in structures, ahead by about a level now, and now they're starting to paint the map blue. I expect them to probably rotate down to the bot here, get themselves the bottom fort to open up the last fort, and they've got the momentum despite the not getting a single Triglav, I think, or no, just only getting the second one. Yeah,
but they got double forts out of it. I was
right.
Actually just going to bring that up. They've lost 2 of the 3 Triglavs, but Spooky Ghosts hasn't been able to maximize the 2 that they got. I think the first one was just because it was the first one. It tends to be a little bit weak. And the second one because they had 2 people dead, that there really wasn't a lot that they could do with it.
Right. And there's just not a lot of siege damage on that comp. You know, they're going to be good in team fights, but
that is true.
When Zarya is like your best siege damage dealer, like that's not necessarily a great thing.
But still, anybody's game. Buried Alive on Leoric is a huge, and look at Wolf. He's fishing. He's waiting for his team. He wants that big Buried Alive. Now deciding to come in from the safer angle, but he really wants to hit that big Buried Alive.
Yeah, he was looking for it for sure.
I mean,
it was nice scouting though, coming in from Spooky Ghosts.
Took the root on the upheaval. Did show.
So now we've made our way to level 20 on both sides. Control point A, number 2.
Initial charge will go over to Who Knows Gaming. Spooky Ghost is going to go do a little housekeeping in the top lane.
And now it's Who Knows Gaming that are going to get the opportunity to test out whether or not they can remember about all these toys that they have for this team fight.
Correct, yeah. Definitely the advantage with them for that. And possible win condition, depending on how this goes for Who Knows Gaming. A little tighter for Spooky Ghost, but Wolf going in, Ghost walking, reducing the damage all over the back. Now looking for an Entomb. The upheaval only catches Zarya, who shields herself. Leo still looking for the big Entomb. There goes the Dragon Arrow, all of the buttons being pressed, still looking for the big Entomb. And Leo going down with Entomb on cooldown. Wow, Cho'Gall very likely to soon follow. No, it is Uther and then Cho'Gall.
Yeah, that is a backbreaker if you are Who Knows Gaming. They had the toys. I think one of those might have gotten actually dropped and then picked up by Spooky Ghosts and used. Ariel definitely got hers down, and there's the Resurrect to bring back Cho'Gall. So they're right back in this thing.
Now Leo,
the heroics are down, but they're chipping away. But the healing is just so potent over on the side of Spooky Ghosts, keeping them alive for now.
Watch Wolf on this Entomb. When he comes up, he's looking for it. He's right in position for it. Big Entomb. Here goes the Ghost Walk to reduce the damage. There's the upheaval catching 3. Now this is the Entomb right there. There it is. And down go 1, down go 2, down go 3. There's the Durance of Hate into the silenced Zarya ult. It was almost enough, and it is Leo going down. Oh, Hanzo so low. The Zarya Mephisto combo was almost enough.
All by itself, and now this is double ring. It's double the fun here for Mephisto, but it's just not going to quite be enough. He's stuck in there for so long, trying to make big plays in the big moment of the game, but it's not quite enough. And now, Who Knows Gaming going to get the charge. They're going to leave Ariel back. They give themselves a turret. And you mentioned win condition, Goose. I think this might be the opportunity for them to end the game right here.
Yeah, but it's the window here in the bottom lane. Hanzo's going to go prep the lane, soften it up. There's already a Kata here. Trigloff Protector on its way. Most of Spooky Ghost will be here to defend, but a 23-minute Trigloff is pretty potent.
Yeah, and this is going to be pretty much a free ride straight to the core. This keep is not going to get in their way very much. Worth noting that both the other lanes are pushed out as well, even if there is a defense. It's going to be tough for Spooky Ghost to come back from this, but they will go in. We see the very early throwing out that void, that prism, not finding anyone there, but we will have the big protects coming out. Dragon Arrow there to interrupt it. Buried alive, going to catch a couple members. The silence is huge. And that is going to be it. 3 members go down for Spooky Ghosts. And now all that's left is to hit the core, Goose.
Yeah, shield's not going down, but look at how fast that Trigloff Protector drops it. 2 members down, shouldn't matter. Hanzo is here. 40%, 30%.
And Cho'Gall's still in the Protector anyway, so
yep,
that will be enough.
That was quite the brouhaha.
Yeah, Mephisto almost turning that around on that control point. That was
that Zarya
epic.
Yeah, that Zarya Mephisto ult combo was almost. I mean, it was incredible, but it was almost triple kill incredible. Like it was right there.
Yeah. Well.
I think that's it for our Friday night.
Yeah, good way to spend a Friday night, hanging out in the Nexus, watching some fun games.
Gaming, taking the 2-0 over Spooky Ghosts. Of course, next week, the last week of the regular season for Division A and for Heroic, the first week of playoffs for everyone else. Pretty light on the schedule this weekend, but stay tuned. Some brackets going to be released on Sunday. And I think that does it for us. You want to say hello to anybody on our way out of here?
Not so much hello, but just thanks to everyone, coming in chat, watching Heroes of the Storm on a Friday night when you could be out there, doing something maybe a little more exciting, but definitely fun to come and watch things going on here in the Nexus. And thanks for everybody for watching, all the likes and follows on both channels here tonight. And we'll see you guys next time.
All right, guys, have a great night.